This is just a quick message for you, Cancer, with your reading. I readjusted my camera, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I just realized that the cards aren't oriented right for you. So with that said, apologies in advance, and I hope you enjoy your reading. Thank you. Well, hello, Cancer. This is Joe from Divine Daily Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot reading for you, intuitive messages, whatever else comes through for money, finances, wealth, abundance, April 2020. So I was taking some time to shuffle all the cards and just clear my mind and think. I had a card pop out and fall down, and it was the the Five of Swords in reverse. And so I sat and just kind of thought about, really what does that feel like to me? And I think it's fitting that we're going to have a full moon, I believe tomorrow the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, this full moon is called a worm moon. It might be even a super moon if I'm not mistaken. The moon is in Virgo. And a little side note, you might want to check your moon sign and see what your moon sign is. I'm a Virgo. That's my moon sign in Virgo. I'm a Leo sun and rising. But anyway, that Five of Swords popped out in reverse, and we have this full moon in Virgo coming up, and it's referred to as the worm moon. And you might be coming out of a period of lack, a period of just being kind of stuck, not being able to like put together a plan or put together your thoughts when it comes to your finances. If you're having difficulties, just might be an overall period of just a stalemate, not a lot happening. And that Five of Swords is in reverse, so to me it's just like this is probably a cycle that's over for some of you. And this moon, which is referred to as the worm moon, it's because generally this is the time of year around this moon where insects come out of hibernation, the earthworms start moving, and other grubs and beetles and things like that, little critters are coming out of the ground and out of their spaces and places. And it's signifies really the start of spring, rebirth, renewal. And that Five of Swords in reverse, to me, kind of coincided with that that whole thought of the concept of the worm moon. So you might find that you've accomplished some shadow work, and meaning you might have had a lot of internal dialogue the last few months, trying to sort things out in your head and trying to make sense of some things that maybe didn't quite pan out the way you wanted to or didn't go your way. So let's see what we get. I'm going to pull cards from a few different decks. I'm going to try not to keep this video too long. I have a few more to do, so I want to try and move through these, but I'm going to try and pull out the messages that come out. So I'm generally going to read the cards upright for this. We have the King of Pentacles. So this is your first week in April, and the King of Pentacles can, at face value represent somebody that is well respected, grounded, stable. Sometimes it could be somebody that has their money on their mind on their money type person. But it's somebody that is fair, and that's kind of what that represents. But we're going to see as we go along here what that message might mean. We're going to do the Emperor upright. So some of you could be dealing with an Aries, perhaps. You might have a lot of Aries in your chart, excuse me. And that this is a card for the second week of April, and we have the Chariot, which is forward momentum, forward movement. So we were talking about feeling stuck, feeling like there's a stalemate. And Cancer, this can represent you as well, because the Chariot is often linked to Cancer. And then let's see what we have for the 4th week, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So you do have some forward momentum and movement in your money, but let's see what we get. Now, I did pre-shuffle all of these, so I'm going to just start pulling cards out when it feels right. If anything jumps out, pops out, I will read those. So Cancer, April 2020, money, prosperity, and abundance. Anything else that Cancer needs to know for those who are looking, who need to know, want to know. Let's see what comes through. First card for the first week under the King of Pentacles is the King of Coins again. So you have the King of Pentacles twice. So you're probably you're probably sitting on a nest egg, some of you, and you know, I think there's a message here for somebody that's probably older, you know, mid to late 30s, and I don't mean older, like don't get offended because I'm going to be 45, but to somebody that's maybe into their mid 40s. So somebody's building a nest egg. Retirement savings, could be some inheritance or something like that you have, but you may have been thinking lately, you know, about your future, how you're gonna put your money to work for you. And then we have the Emperor, and again, I talked about this could represent an Aries in your life, or even if you have Aries in your chart. But let's see what we get for the Emperor. So the Knight of Cups upright. So this, but before we get to this, so this, in the first week of April, you may, like I said, be kind of reminiscent of, you know, all the eggs you've gathered and what your basket looks like, how full it is. You might be feeling somewhat charitable too this week. There might be somebody that needs your help, and we'll get to that toward the end here of the reading when we get down this way. But somebody might be leaning on you, need your help. They might, somebody might come along and request your help. We'll see if that comes up. So that's for some of you, Cancer. But we have the Knight of Cups with the Emperor here, and the Knight of Cups is the Knight of Cups here to me represents some sort of passion and what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you know, the word's on the tip of my tongue, but it's a very specific word. But anyway, there might be some type of communication between you and an Aries, and this might be some type of communication between you and a family member. This might be a heartfelt type of conversation you have with somebody in this second week. And then you have the Chariot in the third week, the Three of Cups. So you might be, you could also be talking with some people in your family. I feel this is, a lot of you, this is a family situation, some kind of partnership, or just some kind of coming together. It could be a wedding, it could be, you know, something like that. We have the Strength that just popped out. So I'm going to lay that there because that's what I'm talking about right now. So you might have some type of celebration or some type of accomplishment the third week of April. And I think that with the Strength card, I think this is something that's probably been in the works or a long time coming. I think it's an emotional event, but it's a joyful event. So you may have something coming along the third week of April that represents family gatherings, could be work related. Let's see. What else comes out? I want to move to the fourth week. The Seven of Swords. So I did talk about somebody may be requesting some of your resources or money or your funds, and you may be hesitant because you are feeling like, if you come to me and ask me to borrow money, but you never pay it back, then don't ask me to borrow money. If you have a need, just ask for it. So I feel like there's somebody that always asks to borrow, but they never pay it back. So you might feel a little grudged if you have somebody this week that is a habitual requester of your money and or your time or something to that effect. We're also going to continue back to the first week because I want to pull out some more messages. Page of Swords. So like I said, there's some communication here between you and another person, and I think this is a communication regarding money, finances. Somebody might, because you have the King of Pentacles twice, and that's why I get the feeling that this is for somebody that has a good nest egg, and there are people in circles around you that know that you have this, and so that's why I think somebody is coming to you to either offer you some type of investments. For some of you, they want to tap into your resources in this first week, or you may have a family member or a friend or somebody in your life that is habitual with requesting money. And that, I think that starts to come up second week of April, perhaps. But by the end of April, you might be feeling a little burned by this person. And we have the Two of Coins upright. So there is definitely, to me, we do have some kind of financial partnership. And I think this is you being able to coordinate a lot of things at once. And I think this represents your ability to do that. And again, this kind of just, to me, just the overall feeling is partnership. Oh, and we have the Ace of Swords, a new idea. So partnership, new idea, something's coming along. And I definitely feel like for some of you that are sitting on a good nest egg, somebody's going to want your resources. And, this is very specifically, some of you, this is business related. And for some of you, this is family related, that somebody is going to want to request to borrow money from you, most likely. But then this third week, like I said, this is some type of celebration, some type of gathering, a partnership, or even just the overall feeling of success. And that could be related to this Ace of Swords and Two of Pentacles in the second week. But for some of you, this is a wedding, or could be someone close to you, could be yourself coming up. And we have the Knight of Wands. So you have a lot of overall movement this month in communication, taking action on plans, partnerships, and the King of Swords. You have a lot on your mind, and you have a lot of King court cards here. So you do have a lot on your mind. You might be feeling very guarded, especially when it comes to this person here, who is probably coming along to tap into your resources. And so I think that this is something that's going to be an underlying theme for you this month of April. And let's just see if we can get anything what you need to know, what you don't know. I think for me the feeling is that there isn't any real significant financial increase or decrease. Things are kind of the same, but there's some new ideas, new partnerships, maybe new business coming in if you own your own business, or you may have we have the Three of Wands. So this is to me right away, just the first thing I thought is you're dreaming about something, you have some idea, some concept that you're thinking about, that you've been thinking about, and you're probably preparing to take some action on that. It's something that has been put on the back burner, and now you're ready to just take that first step. This could also be what this Three of Cups, the celebration, is about. And we have the High Priestess. So to me, again, I think this is kind of a magical theme here with, the High Priestess is balanced, emotionally balanced, energetically balanced. There isn't like any one area that's heavily weighted, whether it's thoughts, emotional energy, mental energy. So everything is pretty well balanced, and I think this is part of this kind of, I could say, magical, because this is, like I said, the worm moon, and that's rebirth, spring coming. This is when people are preparing to plant their seeds and in hopes of reaping a harvest later in this year, and that to me signifies that the reaping of what you're going to sow coming up, starting in the month of April. And those are the messages I have for you, Cancer, for the month of April. If you find that this resonates with you, if this fits with you, this is something that some of this might take some, leave some, but overall, if you feel like this speaks to where you're at, what's going on in your life, what's coming up, please like, share, and subscribe, leave a comment. And I do apologize. I put my camera in a different position, and I didn't think to orient the cards the right way so you could see them properly. They're all upside down for you, and I apologize, but nonetheless, that doesn't change the reading. Anyway, I appreciate your time, and you have a good rest of the day, and look forward to hearing from you if you have any comments about your month of April coming up. Thank you.